And I'm not going to tell you about the small betrayals of everyday life, but the kind that echoes through generations. The kind that sells a nation future for pieces of silver. Because long before today's struggles, there was a season, 18 and a half years, under the banner of the People's National Party, guided by Percival James Patterson and Omar Davies. And history must ask, was this stewardship or was it surrender? You man in the box talking about Labour Party paying me. Yes. You vex? Who pay you? Stewardship or surrender? You know, theology reminds us of Judas. Judas, a man who walked with truth, yet traded it. Traded it for gain. Lift up off of the life, Judas. Lift up off the life. Lift up off the life, Judas. Lift up. Oh God. I'm coming back here. I come in. Just give me a second. Lift up, Judas, lift up. Lord, give me strength tonight on this Holy Thursday. I'm coming back, listeners. Oh God. Oh gosh. Lift up, Judas, lift up. Lift up, Judas. Judas, wanna lift up half of my life. Come off. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Lift up half of my life, no Judas, no come off of my life. It's a Hello Neighbour show. Oh gosh. PNP Judas, come off of my program. Lift up, Judas, lift up. Not you, Garf, man. Oh gosh. Gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. go back. Let's go back in. Let's go back into this and of course theology reminds us of Judas, a man who walked with truth, yet he traded it. Not because he was ignorant, but because he chose silver over salvation. And so we must ask, when policies crush the many to comfort the few, when systems enrich the powerful while emptying the pockets of the poor, is that not betrayal? Not Judas them the man? You can jump from theology and move over to philosophy, because philosophy teaches that leadership carries a moral burden. Great philosopher Jacques Rousseau argued that government exists by what is called a social contract. You operate in the social construct by a social contract. One of these days, we'll talk about that, because that is a sacred agreement to protect the collective good. But what happens when the contract is broken? When over 40,000 businesses collapse, not by accident, but by policy. And I hear one half-wit, one little half-wit, talking about PNP was not responsible for FinSac. Man, you is a half-wit. I don't even think if you're a half-wit, you may be a quarter-wit. Quarter-wit man. No, sir. He's a quarter-wit man. Because I don't see how you could have your bearings together and utter such nonsense. You're a half-wit or a quarter-wit. As Scratchy says, some of your degrees should be withdrawn. Not by accidents. That was not just economics, you know. That was displacement. That was despair engineered into a system. Don't tell me nonsense. My mother sent me to a good school. And God bless me with a... I can't read. Despair engineered into a system. You can jump from theology into philosophy and move to sociology, because sociology calls this the multiply effect. Because when one business closes, 10 families feel it. When one job is lost, communities are fractured. A father without income, a youth without direction, a society without stability. And from that vacuum, because what a vacuum it was, crime doesn't appear out of nowhere. A man came here the other night saying he was a teacher. And he is not sure that the statistics about crime are correct. That's the type of nonsense that you hear coming from the other side. Who is not on half-wit talk rubbish. When you create a vacuum, crime grows out of that. Go up to Dovecot and Meadowrest and ask the dead, how did they die? Go down to the Maypen Cemetery. Ask the dead. Talk to them. Ask them how they died. There are thousands of people up at Dovecot and Meadowrest that would have been alive today. That's a failure. That's a failure of the system, ultimately causing the lives of thousands of Jamaicans. Don't come here with your rubbish, you hear, sir? Because high murder rates are not born in isolation. They are often the children of economic collapse and social abandonment. And then we hear the voice of the people, voice like Scratchy. The state failed me. It's not a whispered voice. It's not to be debated. It is to be declared. Because betrayal at that level is not felt in statistics. It is lived in empty cupboards, missed opportunities, and generations forced to start from less than zero. And even within their own ranks, a voice admitted that period represented the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since slavery. We should take a moment of silence at this point and observe a moment of silence. Since slavery, what does it mean to govern a free people, yet reproduce the outcome of bondage? You govern a people that is free, and you reproduce the outcomes of bondage. That is not mismanagement. That's a moral failure. The PNP did not mismanage Jamaica. It was a moral failure. The reproduction and the reintroduction of systemic slavery is a moral failure. And you know, we call for reparations. We call for reparations. And we ask the United Kingdom to pay us reparation. What we should be calling for is for those who presided over the reproduction of bondage to pay us back. We don't need reparations. The reparations debate is a little bit of a nonsensical debate. What we should be doing today in Jamaica is find a way to hold those people who presided over the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since slavery, to hold them accountable. They owe us. They owe us. Because we were free. The Union Jack came down in 1962. And we were free. And we had a government that reproduced the outcomes of bondage. You're coming up here telling me foolishness. And now in the present, now on this Holy Thursday, we see Mark Golding, a man shaped within that same political era, the same ideological framework. And the people hesitate, not because they cannot understand him, but because they remember. Because you see, trust, once broken at that scale, does not easily return. The history lingers and the memories, they follow people to the ballot box. And so tonight, we are not just recounting the past. We are issuing a warning. We are issuing a warning. A nation is not betrayed in a single moment. It is betrayed in decisions, in policies, in priorities. Lift up, Judas, lift up. Lift up out of Jamaica, Judas is. Lift up. And when leaders who forget who they serve, they do not just fail, they sell. When you forget who you serve, it's not just a failure, it's a sellout. And I want to tell somebody tonight that the Jamaican people are not for sale. We are not for sale. And we're not going back into the slavery. We're not going back there. This generation of Jamaicans, not going back there. Some friends, you see, some friends of the Jamaica Labour Party reached out to me today and asked me if I could do something for them. And I told them that I would consider it. Let me see if I have it up here. Friends of the Jamaica Labour Party. I hope that you guys are listening. They said that they say they are friends. They are friends. They said they are friends of the Jamaica Labour Party. Do I have it? Do I have it? Let me see. They said they are friends of the Jamaica Labour Party, and they asked me if I could play this for them. No. So this is paid for by friends of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Jamaica, we ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica, but we love the Jamaica. Them call we jump down the island in the sun. If you want some fun, Labour Party we second to none. Boy, you be the jelly water, coconut keep that run down. The reggae tears with the drum, we sugar cane make the best white rum. Labour right, pick up Jamaica. We ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. And you are pick up Jamaica. We ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica.
Gosh. I tell you, so a group of they say they are friends. They say they are friends of the Jamaica Labour Party. Moderator, check your Zelle account because they say they are paying for that. They say they're paying for it. They're paying for it. It's a sponsor. It's a sponsor from friends of the Jamaica Labour Party. All right, let's.
Party a big up Jamaica. We ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. Cause we love the Jamaica. And to a big up Jamaica. We ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. Cause we love the Jamaica. Them call we jump down the island in the sun. If you want some fun, Labour Party we second to none. Boy, you be the jelly water, coconut keep that run down. The reggae tears with the drum, we sugar cane make the best white rum. Labour right, pick up Jamaica. We ever want to Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. And you a pick up Jamaica. We ever want to.
All right, so that is thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. Oh boy. Thank you so much, friends of the Jamaica Labour Party, for sponsoring that. Okay, great. Now, people of Jamaica are not for sale. Judas took silver for the Savior, but Jamaica paid in suffering for assisting. Angela? Angela, you're going to pay for it? All right. Well, you can talk to my moderator. And the question remains, who will restore what was lost? And the crowd is echoing Barabbas and the burden of choice. And we arrive at this present. It's a different season. It's a different steward. Andrew Holness. And I see them in the media, in the social media, trying to tear down this man. Many quietly, reluctantly, or boldly must admit that something is shifting in Jamaica. Sectors once broken are rebuilding. Opportunities once scarce is expanding. Crime, though not gone, no longer rising with the same fury. A nation inching towards recovery. But here's where the theology grips us again. Because in the story of Christ, truth stood before the people and they cried, "Give us Barabbas." You're going to celebrate Easter. Truth stood before the people and they cried, "Give us Barabbas." Echoes of the crowd, Barabbas and the burden of choice. And when you look across Jamaica today, tell me so you don't see progress. Tell me so you don't see progress. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me, someone come up here and tell me if in this country called Jamaica, you don't see progress in a Jamaica. The grip of theology. Give us Barabbas. Not because Barabbas was better. Not because he was righteous. But because the crowd was moved by forces beyond the truth. And that is what is happening in Jamaica today. We are moved beyond the forces of truth. And God help us if we go back to Barabbas. The echoes from the crowd, Barabbas and the burden, because every 5 years the people are sent to the polls. Now let's be clear. This is not a call. I'm not calling anyone Barabbas. But the analogy is striking. That a people once wounded could be persuaded to embrace what once harmed them as though it were their salvation. You know, I learned a little bit the other day about what is called trauma bonding. You're born to the traumatic PNP. Let go PNP ideology. Let it go. Let go PNP ideology. Let it go. Don't be bound by trauma. Because the PNP kind of represent trauma, you know. When you think of when you think of the comrades, you think of trauma. You ever in a toxic relationship? Toxic? You have to get out of it. That the very structures that failed them before could repackage themselves and be presented as hope.
We just love Jamaica.
Well, my friends from the my friends from the group said they're going to pay for this.
We ever want for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. Cause we love for Jamaica. And to a big up Jamaica. We ever want for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. Cause we love for Jamaica. Them call we drop down the island in the sun. If you want some fun, Labour Party we second to none. Boy, you be the jelly water, who cannot give back run down. The reggae bass with the drum, we sugar cane make the best white rum. Labour right, pick up Jamaica. We ever want for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just
I'm 8 minutes to 8 o'clock. Can't stay with you too long tonight. It's Holy Thursday. George Santayana reminds us, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And memory is not just history written in books. It's a lived experience. It's the shopkeeper who lost everything, the worker displaced, the family that never recovered. Lego Barabbas. You hear I tell you? Lego Barabbas. So when this narrative arises, polished, persuasive, persistent, the people must ask, are we choosing based on truth or on conditioning? And during the last election, one party came with truth, the other came with conditioning. Lego Barabbas. Do not be conditioned by falsehood, by a narrative designed to get others where you ought to be. People will trick you and use you and enslave you. Look at your country. Look at your country and ask yourself, do I see progress? Are we evaluating reality? Or are we reacting to rhetoric? Because the same systems that once cried out for crucifixion. Oh God, I could preach. The same systems that once cried out for crucifixion. The same forces that distorted truth, manipulated perception, and influenced the masses. They have not vanished. They have simply evolved. I feel like I want to say that again. The same systems that once cried out for crucifixion, the same forces that distorted truth, manipulated perception, and influenced the masses, they have not vanished. They have simply evolved. They live in modern politics, dressed in strategy, armed with messaging, amplified by platforms. Right here on TikTok, the Judases are flaring lies out of their mouths. This space full of Judases. They have betrayed their country, spouting lies, telling lies, tearing down the government, tearing down the prime minister. But this generation must not be the crowd of old. We are not to be bound by ignorance, because we are not limited to whispers and rumors. We have history. We have evidence. We have lived reality. And so the responsibility shifts not to the politician alone, but to the people to assess, to question, to remember, because betrayal does not always return wearing the same face. Sometimes it comes as redemption. It was with a kiss that Jesus was sold. With a kiss. What could be more affectionate than a kiss? Be careful of those who come offering you kiss. Sometimes it sounds like salvation. But if it is built on the same foundation, it will produce the same outcome. The crowd once chose Barabbas, not knowing the weight of that decision. But we have the power of hindsight. So the question is no longer what they chose then, but what will we choose now? And so let's be clear. Jamaica is to be chosen over everyone else. Not leaders, not parties, not fleeting promises, but Jamaica herself. For to transcend the petty squabbles of politics, we must be fair, rational beings, not swayed by a politics of culture or emotion, but guided by reason, evidence, and outcomes. Look closely, listeners. And what do you see? A government not perfect, but acting with purpose. A nation is being rebuilt, not with words alone, but with real results. The shops are open, jobs are flourishing, the streets feel safer. This is not betrayal. This is not betrayal. This is atonement for the sins of the past. This is the resurrection of a people from the wreckage of mismanagement. And as Aristotle said, the good is what is useful to life. And if life is being restored, we must recognize it. If justice, progress, and opportunity are rising, then honesty demands commendation, not cynicism. Be honest, listeners. Look at the reality around you. Is Jamaica not being resurrected? Are we not seeing what was once lost returned? Then by all reason, by all conscience, the government deserves our acknowledgement. Holy Thursday, let's choose Jamaica above politics, above partisanship, above all wounds, for the nation is not a project of one man, not one party. It is a collective, the collective heartbeat of a people. And today, that heartbeat is rising. Rising. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica is being resurrected. But the nation is not a project of one man or of one party. It is far greater than any individual ambition, far deeper than any electoral promise. A nation lives in the daily choices of its people. It's a mother who wakes before dawn to provide, the shopkeeper who keeps her doors open despite hardship, the youth who dreams of building a future greater than his past. Buying his pro box, it pulses the shared memories of triumph and pain. In the songs we sing, the markets we walk, and the streets where we remember both justice and hope. Earlier yesterday, I was downtown Kingston and I spoke with a woman, blind in both eyes, with a cane walking through the Coronation Market, still selling, making a living. That's the spirit of the Jamaican. They don't give up. The nation is a living organism. Or organism. Organism. Living organism. Living. It's a living thing. And every citizen is a cell, a heartbeat, a vessel of life. No policy can sustain it, you know. No leader, however visionary, can claim it as their own. Hope is in Jamaica. And when we speak of resurrection on this Holy Thursday, as we move to Good Friday, when we speak of resurrection, we speak not of a man rising, not of a party redeeming itself, but of the collective heartbeat of the Jamaican people. Awakening, resilient, enduring, choosing to rise, choosing to rebuild, choosing to reclaim their destiny. Because a nation that lives in its people cannot be betrayed forever. Yes, we were betrayed. It cannot be silenced indefinitely. Yes, we were silenced. But thank God we're moving. We're moving with the rhythm of the many, not the few. Jamaica is being resurrected. Lego Judas.